Alrighty you guys, so JJK, the update is done and dusted. The filler banner is out right now. Shoko is available again on JP, of course. I know Global just had her, but I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of cubes to be gathered, which is beautiful. So this is the new advanced mission. Literally just logged on in, and it was already pre-done for me, so yeah, wasn't aware of that, so I'll just claim all of that. Thank you very much, don't mind me. And then it's on it's done on a daily basis, and then yeah, the 1500 right here, quite nice with the additional, of course. New event out. Obviously we can farm another 3k over here. A free multi-summon. You guys know the deal. It's just another filler event, just to keep us occupied up until Dagon drops, along with Chosen next on the 31st, should I say. Yeah, so now with all of that being said, the SP characters have dropped, so I'm going to go over their kit because I want to see what we're working with. Itadori I've actually already done, purely because both of his SP unlocks are his passive. So obviously when it comes to SP unlocking, I'm sure you guys are aware of it already by now, but to anyone who doesn't know, if it's a skill, you're going to have to get that skill maxed out, so it can be pretty annoying. However, because it's a passive, you can just straight off the bat get it done and unlocked. So there you go, it makes it easier on everyone in terms of getting Itadori done up, you know, because it's easy to do. Now, out of the three characters, if I want to put them in order with how good they are, Junpei is number 1, Itadori is number 2, and then of course Kamo is number 3. Obviously, you know, whether they're worth building, you know, we'll take a look, but like I said, Itadori is so easy to do. It doesn't require you to waste any valuable materials in terms of leveling up a skill. Of course, it's just as passive, so you can comfortably go about doing that. The other two characters, unfortunately, it is their skills, so we'll take a look at that. So with that being said, let's take a look at the passives themselves. Got a bit of a rough translations on what we're working with. So the two passives that are getting buffed up are rapid fire attacks and searching for a righteous death. So we'll start things off with Itadori. So we'll do the we'll do the first one, I guess. Is that the Alright, so we'll start off with searching and righteous death. So at the start of each turn, if an ally's HP is 40% or below, exclude self up to one time during battle, it attracts all enemies' attacks to Itadori, of course. Reduces own damage received by 25%, and then of course has that revival status to self if things go south. And so now what we're doing is that the stipulation has moved to 60% and below. You're still getting the attack attraction, you're getting a 60% damage reduction, which is very nice. On top of that, you recover 10% of your cursed energy. Is that the same? No, that's an addition. Okay, fantastic. Obviously when it comes to the buff itself, the ally defense, if you want to call it that, you can reapply that 3 turns after the effect is removed. Oh, okay. Oh, so wait, it's not a one-time thing? Exclude self up to one time during battle. Okay, so it's reapplicable. Interesting. Okay, at the start of the battle, grant yourself the following. So you get the revival status and then the ally defense, of course, which is essentially this. Okay, so they've just kind of essentially improved it by making it a little bit more effective for you to kind of tank and absorb a lot of hits, and made it reapplicable. Alright, fair enough. Can't go wrong with that. Moving over to the second passive, when targeting the same enemy multiple times, increases own damage by 15% for every attack performed up to 55%. Skills with multiple hits are counted as a single attack. And what has happened here is... Okay, so your taijutsu at the start of the turn... So, oh sorry, yeah, so... taijutsu, yeah. So the more attacks you do, the greater the effect. So you've got to be consecutive about that. So it's basically a counter on what we're trying to build up. So Itadori, as he uses his attacks, he'll get a counter. And so by having no counters, you're starting off as a 20% boost. And you can cap it at 140. God damn, maximum effect after the 15 times is 8% increase per counter. Damn, alright, that's nice. So we can go and exceed the 15 times, but after the 15 time per counter, you'll only get 8% increase. When you attack an enemy and your combo is 14 or less, you'll get a +1 combo count. So this will build up to you being able to do more damage. When HP damage is received from any enemy and your combo count is 14 or less, then you'll get a +2 combo count. So even the enemy, if you do get tagged, will help you in the long run to do more damage. So this is more so on a longevity type of side when it comes to this Itadori, on doing some good damage, because of course it will require some build up. If you're relying on Itadori, then it might take a hot minute, but you know, if the enemy is targeting you, and I guess that taunt from his other passive really comes in clutch right now. Oh, this actually is pretty beneficial, and that huge damage reduction has been, well, that massive increase, that's actually pretty solid. And then the other half of the same passive, sorry, when HP damage is inflicted, damage dealt to the same target is reduced by 15%. Ooh, okay, bit of debuffing going on. At the start of the 8th turn, from the start of the battle, increase physical or increase taijutsu ability by 30%, and you recover 10% of your own cursed energy, no limit. You know what, this isn't too bad. Again, longevity, so this is where this Itadori will shine the most. So pretty much the whole defensive play, that is kind of like straight off the bat really solid just to keep a unit alive, but the additional of the other passive, that is definitely for a long-term fight, because it will require a build-up, definitely a build-up. And again, on the 8th turn, that's when you can get a furthermore increase in your damage. So honestly, with this Itadori, because of course it's his 2 passives, I mean, there's not really much complaints to say. The buffs are good. I mean, I'll try him out, we'll see what we can cut with him. I wouldn't say it's anything too insane or too crazy. I don't think he's still, I mean, he could be viable, it just depends. But we'll put him to the test, we'll kind of see what's going on, and kind of build up the that attack count. I kind of want to see on what this man can accomplish. So yeah, the Itadori is basically a freebie. This is essentially a freebie. Alright, so we've got Kamo, of course, so 2 skills. Oh god, level 10 required. So we've got the 2nd skill, as well as, I believe this is the 3rd skill. So alright, so first things first, when it comes to the 2nd skill, it seems that they've made it so that it's on for 6 turns, and it's reusable after every 5 turns. So that's the change on that one. So just to kind of break it down on what we're looking at right now, so obviously the 2nd skill, it's the flowing red scale state, so that's on for 6 turns, reusable every 5 turns. So on this one we get a damage dealt increase of 5.5, increases on Jujutsu stat by 20. This is horrible, by the way. This unit is just garbanzo, so I'm really hoping they can pull this out of the bag. Jujutsu stat of 20% or 21%, recovers own curse energy by 5, and then the stats itself cannot be stacked, unfortunately, but you get an increase of damage of 5%, Jujutsu stat of 10%, and then you get a damage received reduction of 5%. And then when the flowing red scale is deactivates, it increases own damage received by 10%, and that's for 6 turns. So that's essentially the premise on that one. But let's see what we're working with in terms of and how this is looking. So when the red scale is activated, you get a damage dealt increase of 40%. Can go up to 50. Still can't stack it, unfortunately. So go to 40. Maximum up to 50%. You get a taijutsu increase of 8%. Again, it can go up to 100%. You get a jujutsu increase of 80%. Okay, the percentage increases, it fits into where the game is at right now. So this is solid. I'm liking this so far. The numbers are looking promising. So yeah, up to 100% as per usual. Damage reduction of 25%. You can cap that at 35%. Pretty nice. The more cursed energy you have, the greater the effect. So if you've got 60 cursed energy, oh, I think that's what it works off from, right? Oh, okay, so we've got a bit of a cursed energy. Oh, it's one of those characters, goddammit. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, so once again, we get 5 cursed energy every turn, and we get a special attack engage increase of 15%. And on top of that, added auto skill red scales in motion. What is this? Oh, okay. So this is when the buff basically goes away, like when he deactivates it, basically. So you get a 10% increase in damage right there. Okay, that's fine. And then it's reusable every 5 turns, basically. Okay, yeah. So that's basically that part right here. So that is basically staying the same. Essentially is what we're trying to get at. It's just the turn has been reduced by a singular turn, so it's 5 turns right now. So honestly, looks good. I mean I would prefer the percentage. Oh well, I'm hoping, yeah, they need to, I hope they raise the percentage. But either way, the buffing looks decently well, you know, I can't go wrong with that, can't hate on that. So now we're going over to the 2nd skill. Sorry, not the 2nd skill, the 3rd skill. So at max, it does 201. In the Second skill state does 270 and it becomes AoE. So they gotta pull this one out of the bag. I'm gonna be honest. The buffs are there. So it's doing 280 AoE still, and then it gives the following effects to, oh, it's a debuff. Okay, hold up, wait a minute. So we get so it increases the damage of taijutsu by 20%, as well as Jujutsu. So, and it's on for 4 turns, so that's pretty nice. And on top of that, when in the second state or second skill state, it increases the effect of 50%. Damn! I don't know why the 50% is not appearing there, but that is what is being shown here. Let me show you guys down here. Yeah, boom, 50%. Once you're in that other state. Oh, I just seen that symbol. So this caters to the blue typing in particular. That makes sense why it says shadow there and shadow there, or the blue typing, blue typing. So this is now mono blue primarily what we're looking at here on how this skill is being utilized. Interesting. Okay, well, that kind of puts this man in a certain mono team rather than being an overall usage. Fair play to developers thinking on that one, but interesting direction to take, giving us that little bit of Chozo feel going on. Still don't know if I'm going to be utilizing this man. It's going to be a tough call. Alright, and the last character to look at is Junpei, and so we can just get straight into it, boys. So it's going to be his second skill. I think it's the third skill once again. So straight off the bat, when it comes to his second skill, they are providing him with an extra, what was that, damage reduction of 35% for 2 turns? God damn. So Junpei out of all of them holds the most value, just an FYI. So just kind of wanted to clarify that. So he still has the attack nullification, he still attracts the enemy, he still gets a Jujutsu stat increase, decreases all allies damage received by 10%, so all of that is still there. It's just he himself has a 35% damage reduction. That is pretty nice. Well, technically it's not, I was going to say it's on for 2 turns, so that second turn it is kind of saving his ass, so you can't go wrong on that one. I guess. I mean, I'm just really looking at the one-time situation or one-turn situation. I'm just like, questionable. Okay, fair enough. So that's kind of what we're working with right now in terms of that little buff. What is this? Oh, is this the damage reduction? Okay, yeah. So, oh, this is for all allies. Oh, okay. So so all allies now, when they get the damage reduction, it is a 20%, and it's on for 2 turns. So they just gave an extra 0.1. That's funny. So now, yeah, allies are protected for 2 turns out. So that's pretty kind of them. So that's kind of what we're working with there. So yeah, they've bumped that up by an extra 10. Okay, that's fine. What? No, what's that? Oh no, what? Oh, they just gave me an extra turn. It was always 20%, unless this site has just rounded it to 20%. Anyway, don't really matter at this point. Okay, moving along now. So that's, again, yeah, nothing too crazy. Wait, did I? Oh god, wait, I missed out a huge chunk of it. My bad. Let me just double make sure this is the right. Yeah, okay, cool. So pretty much with this one, we are giving the following effects to our allies. So they basically get a taijutsu increase of 15% and a jujutsu increase of 15% for 3 turns. And on top of that, give the following effect to the ally one position behind you. Stun immunity. Ooh. Okay, Junpei. Hold up. Wait a minute. He was a decent unit overall, and this just kind of helps out a lot. Okay, I'm really liking that second skill now. There's a decent amount of going on in terms of survivability, protection, immunity, buffing. I like it. Okay, that second skill holds a decent amount of value. And then lastly, we are looking into the third skill. Okay, so pretty much with what it does, 350 Jujutsu damage with continuous poison damage of 120 for 3 turns. Increases selected enemy damage received by 20% for 3 turns, 4 times. Increases the effect depending on the many turns of continuous Jujutsu damage poison the enemy has. I'm hoping Dagon has that because I really want to pile that on. Up to an extra 30% for 3 turns. If multiple instances of effect are applied, the one with the most turns left will be counted. So, what are we looking at here? I am Okay, so it's only a small one. So 25% more damage taken to selected enemy with poison. Okay, when the applied target receives continuous damage, the effect amount is at 35%. So they're basically just upping the poison amount. And if I can remember correctly, I think they've also upped the damage. Yeah, so the Jujutsu damage is now gone to 450, and then your oh Jesus, your continuous poison damage goes to 240. So this could be something pretty devastating. But yeah, so they've bumped it up to where the damage taken is by 25%. That's on 4 turns once that poison is in effect. And then once again, the continuous damage effect will increase by 35%. Well, yeah. So if the target is under continuous poison damage, then the effect granted will be increased by 35%. There you go. So yeah, they're just kind of helping him out, doing a little bit more damage, but more importantly, because he's poison focus heavy, that DOT play, they've kind of enhanced that a little bit more. So with that being said, I'm eager to see on how this plays out with Dagon. That's one thing I'm curious about on what's going on there. But for the most part, yeah, they just made Junpei that little, well, he was already viable. They're just making him more viable, I guess. You know, nothing too crazy. So, but yeah, boys. So those are the 3 SPs that we have. So, like I said, Itadori is a freebie. This is just a freebie. So you guys can go ahead and get this one done easily. Kamo is still very questionable. I'm just not feeling him. I don't know, in terms of where blue typing's at and with where he's at. And don't get me wrong, the second skill with the buffing, percentage-wise, looks nice. I just feel like his stats should have been raised a little bit. They did give him the Chozo treatment in terms of having some form of debuffing going on, so that's pretty nice. So, yeah, I don't know. I think right now Junpei will be the better option just because he holds a value already. And obviously with the DOT play going on with the yellow team, we could get something out of this pretty nicely. So yeah, he still holds value, he's still decent to this day, and they've just improved his poison play that little bit better. And obviously that second skill, I'm not going to lie, that's pretty nice too in terms of giving the team that survivability and that stun immunity protection. Of course, still holds good value. So yeah, definitely worth some form of investment. It's just Kamo, look, this man had a brutal at the very beginning, and even right now, questionable whether or not, I don't know if it's worth wasting all that resources, because at the end of the day, like I said, level 10 skill cost required. I just don't feel, I don't think the value is going to be there for this character, unfortunately. It's just how it is. So yeah, but yeah, Itadori, Junpei, those are the ones that I would say you just kind of want to look into. But Itadori, once again, as a reminder, is a freebie. So that's kind of what we're working with in terms of their improvement with SP potential. We'll take a look at Itadori. I'm going to level up Junpei because I want him ready for Dagon. We're gonna cook up some form of DOT. It's gonna happen, right? We're gonna cook something up, especially how the improvement has come in for him right now. It's literally come at a perfect time. So we're cooking with gas with the yellow DOT.